My friends, good morning. It's a beautiful beach this morning, Mauritius, where the temperature is starting to rise a little and the water is getting nicer and nicer. So aren't we almost about to go for a swim? So one thing I wanted to do today is answer a question that someone asked me on WhatsApp, which I want to share with you. Here's what he said to me. He told me I'm a developer in my company, so he works with software, he's a developer, and at some point his company wants to create a website, wants to build a website. They are consulting agencies to see the possibilities of creating a website. So what he wants to do, he tells me, since he hasn't had a raise in a long time, that he's not recognized in his work. What I want to do is tell them, you give me a raise and I'll make the website for you, I'll do it myself. So, well, to be honest with you, I'll tell you something. I've never seen a company or business get into that kind of deal. Like, you do something that's outside your job description. And in return, what we'll do is we'll pay you extra. No, it doesn't usually work like that. Companies want everything for nothing. What does that mean? What does it mean? In practice, what we'll do is you'll make the website, you'll do it on top of your current job, the one you're doing right now. So you'll have to work extra hours if needed, and you won't get any raise at all. And the problem is, after that, the website will become your responsibility. And when it needs to be changed, updated, or even when it malfunctions. When your WordPress is slow, or when your WordPress shows PHP errors, etc., you're the one they'll call. So honestly, doing this, there's nothing to gain, honestly, absolutely nothing to gain by getting into this kind of deal. I've been in not just one or two. I've worked a lot in American or British companies, and sometimes when they were exposed to documents in French, they would come to me. So if a colleague, even a colleague from another department, is stuck with a document, he doesn't understand the subtleties. He tried to translate it with Google or something else, and it didn't work. He still doesn't understand. I'm willing to help a colleague to read the document for him and everything. I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not going to go running and ask for a raise afterwards. I just do it on the side. However, what isn't possible is that, and I've seen cases like this, the company wants to translate documents or wants to translate a website. I'm not going to be the translator. That's out of the question. I'm not going to translate for them and then give them the finished work, taking away someone else's job. No, if they want to translate, there are agencies that do that. They just have to go pay them, or they can just use DeepL or something else to translate, do a lousy translation and put it online if that's what they want. But there's no way I'm going to do that on top of my job. Why am I telling you this? Companies are very structured, very organized. They don't work in an anarchic way. They don't just work randomly like that. It's not a grocery store. It's not a business created by three buddies who each try to be a jack of all trades. It doesn't work like that. When companies create a position, there is a job description. That means a scope, responsibilities that are defined afterwards. So what do? There are what we call KPIs, key performance indicators, which are performance indicators. That means these are performance values that will be captured, put into a database, and analyzed by human resources to know what your performance is. It could be the number of calls you answered, the number of projects you are involved in, the money you brought in, the number of deals you signed. No matter how many labs you built, whatever it is, there are values that are put into a database. And here it is now. The problem is, if you go privately to your N+1, N+2, or a manager from another department or something like that, and you tell them, listen, I'm going to make the website for you, okay? As long as you save them money, you're going to save them money. They'll say, yes, you want to make the website, do it. We were struggling to choose a supplier and all that. We were struggling with the quotes. But if you kindly offer to make the website, go ahead, do it. Not one of them will say no to you. Why would they say no? They're not going to say no. You want to do it, do it. The problem is that it doesn't lead to anything for you. It leads to them. The website will be done very quickly. The price will be zero, all that. But for you, what will happen, since making websites for the company isn't part of your KPIs, isn't part of your job description, your job profile, what will happen? Well, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to record the fact that you made the website. Even worse, here's what's going to happen since you're spending time making the website. We're going to take your KPIs, right? And we're going to lower them. They're going to go down. Of course, because this website, you're not paid for it. You did it, you did it. But if you do it at the expense of your main task, which is measured, recorded, when we look at the year, when we get to the end of the year and we look at each other, on the surface, your performance has dropped. You did less, you worked less this year than last year. So you're working less, you're doing less, so you're doing less. You can't go and ask for a raise. Why are you doing less work? You want a raise, why? Why would they do that for you? You see what I mean? So very important, my friends, never go and take food away from other suppliers. Let the other suppliers work. The company wants a translation. I don't know, just imagine something. Imagine you're a handyman, you do painting, and then you're hired by a company as, I don't know, a cook, a bus driver, or a Java developer. One day, if they want to repaint the offices, will you say, oh, I can repaint? Do you think that'll work if you offer to do it? You'll also seem like someone others can take advantage of. That means at first, okay, you make the website, you're nice, all that, fine. They'll give you a pat on the back. And then over time, every time there's something, they'll say yes. He's very willing, him in him, you know. And you'll end up mopping, right, the stairs without knowing how you went from being a Java developer to the one who's mopping the stairs, you know. You'll go from one to the other. There are steps in between, but that's how it is. And honestly, in their accounting, it's much simpler for most companies. To pay an external agency, to pay 5,000 euros to an agency to make the website, than to give a raise to an employee and have to pay for the website every month, add it to their salary to pay for the site, plus employer contributions and social charges. All that just because he made the website? So from my experience, before going any further, I'd like to talk to you very quickly about the pinned comment. It's the channel's partner, Kilus. Okay, it's an organization based in France, so contact them only if you're based in France. And then they can help people either find a job when they've lost their job or change jobs when they're tired of their current one and they want to go further. Their support is covered by France Travail under certain conditions. In most cases, it's covered by France Travail, but not in 100% of cases. So you check with them, you call them and see if in your situation it can be covered by France Travail. Anyway, back to our story. I know people, and these are dramatic stories. I know a guy, for example, who worked for more than 10 years who ended up doing 2 different jobs. Because he was hired for a job, so he was hired for a position. He started wanting to try other things because he liked it, because he wanted to be helpful, because he told himself, if I do more for them, well, they'll give me more. But no, it doesn't work like that. Companies want you to give more while getting less. That's it. The ideal employee is the one who gets nothing and gives the maximum. And it's not that person who will get a higher salary or a promotion or anything else. The one who gets promoted and a higher salary is not the one making websites for the company, is not the one mopping the stairs or painting the walls, right? Or doing moves or anything like that. The one who gets promoted is the one having drinks at the bar with the bosses at 10 p.m. All right, that's how it works. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. The more you give to companies, the less you get back. So learn to be minimalist in the way you do things. Learn to be minimalist. Learn to protect your interests. I was telling you, I knew a guy. He worked 2 jobs. He ended up working 2 jobs. That means he wore 2 hats. Because at some point, the main holder was sick. He stopped coming. He didn't come anymore. Then one day he resigned. So since they saw that he was willing to take on that position, well, they let him do it. And after that, for more than 10 years, he did 2 jobs. Well, the story ended up in court and all that. He eventually got paid and everything. But honestly, just avoid it. Avoid putting yourself in that situation. I also know the story of someone, it's the same thing. He started developing a management system for the company. To save them a SAP license, he said, why are you paying for a SAP license? I can develop something for you, I can develop something for you and all that. And the problem is when you do that, the risk is if the system works really well, They may claim they're reselling it or say it's theirs and their license. You were paid by us, you made it, so we pay you. I mean, we don't pay, I mean, we keep it, we can fire you if we want. You give us the source code and then we'll market this solution. They won't give you a single cent like that. The guy ended up leaving, he ended up leaving bitter, again, lawsuits to file, etc. So honestly, I'm sorry, I would have liked to, and if I were running a company, someone who does more gets more. I guarantee you that someone who does more on my watch gets more. Yes, he will get bonuses. Yes, he will get money. Yes, he will be the first to be considered for advancement and all that. However, that's not generally the case. That's what I'm telling you. It's the exception. In most companies, it doesn't work like that. It's not the one who slaves away for free and all that, who moves up and gets recognized. That's not true. You just become the workhorse of the company. And what's the main characteristic of a workhorse? You don't move up, you're the worker, you clean up the dirty work, and that's all you are. So, to answer this person, my answer is no, don't do it. Don't make the website for them. You see, let them do it if you really have to. I'll tell you something. I'll give you a more interesting approach. Companies don't value those who execute the work, what I call the workhorses. Often they don't value them. They value those who manage, those who talk. So what you can do, you can tell them this. I'll help you split the difference and pull the rug toward you. You do this. Look, you say, here you go. I have web development experience. Even though at the moment I'm not able to develop the website, I'm used to managing web development projects. So here's what I suggest. You hire an external agency and I manage it. You give me the website project. You let me choose the agencies. You let me compare the quotes. You let me have a bit of control over their work. And then that's it. The project is mine. But you don't do anything, actually. You see what you'll do. You'll just, from time to time, look at the quotes, call the guys, see what they're doing, etc. Give a couple of instructions. And that's it. You see, that's better. It's less work for you. And it's already more valued in the company than someone who's just grinding away typing code to build the website. Okay? So there you go. We had our photobombing from people passing by here. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to stop this video here. Anyway, thanks for watching. And don't forget the link that's in the pinned comment. And I'll see you soon.